Hey folks, welcome back. Today we're continuing our first science playthrough, or exploration playthrough of Kerbal Space Program 2. Let's get started. Packing a jet plushie, that's important. Jet plushie is used to indicate gravity and acceleration on board the spacecraft. I'm just reading the loading messages at the bottom in case you're wondering what the hell I'm talking about. Okay, so here's our situation. We have Valentina Kerman, who has landed on Duna. She has a rover, but the rover has only 2 wheels, so it's not going anywhere fast. And we're in kind of a crappy landing spot on the wall of a crater here, and that's sort of caused us some troubles on the way in for landing here, but we were sort of already having troubles because the rover already had 2 wheels by the time it got into the atmosphere, because I think it broke at some point during the launch. So what we're going to want to do, I decided, is we're going to launch another rover to Duna with no pilot, and we're going to have that rover land on Duna. We're going to try to land it as close to Valentina as possible. So it's going to be a drone rover, and then we're going to take our drone rover and we're going to drive it over to our point of interest, and we'll collect whatever science we can along the way. So that's the plan for today. We'll see how far we get on that. It is a lunch stream, so we have a limited amount of time here, but we'll see what we can do. Let's go to the lab. Okay, so the first thing I think we need to do is determine why our rover wheels blew up. Let's look at our Dune Rover Mark 1 here. So this will of course be the Dune Rover Mark 2, so before we change anything, let's go ahead and start a new save file. Okay, so Dune Rover Mark 2, I have a feeling that the rover wheels falling off have something to do with the fact that this fairing thing, the fairings don't really work the way they're supposed to. That's what people have been consistently telling me, and that seems to be the case as far as I've observed. So I'm checking to see if there's like a lack of clearance. Let's see, which wheels were missing? Was it the front or rear wheels? I think it was the front wheels that were missing. So I'm thinking what I want to try to do is let's decouple this, and then I want to restructure this header section a little bit here. I'm not sure if I can attach something on top of this. That would be nice. Why can't I delete this? Okay, we'll restart that. That's fine. So I think I'm gonna try a different type of payload bay because the fairings don't seem to work as expected. I'm not sure if the payload bay will help, but the only thing though is I think this might be too small. I'm gonna have to make a very skinny rover. But let's try this. Yeah, that's not gonna fit right. Let's put this in here. Oops. I think we might just want to ditch the parachutes because it doesn't seem to do us that much good. Yeah, that's not good. That doesn't fit right. That's not going to work. So we could try to make our rover skinnier, but we got a lot of stuff on there, and I want to have all of that stuff with us. So I don't know that that's going to work out. The other idea that I had was maybe we could put a heat shield on the front of this thing, or some kind of aerodynamic part on the front of this thing to block off the rover during landing. I hate it when it... Okay, that's my mouse. It's not the game. It's my bad. Okay. What is this strange little... I'm wondering what is that white sphere on the side of the module there. Was it an attachment point? I think that's a bug. Some kind of graphical glitch with the editor. Let's do this. I'm gonna put this back together without fairing. I'm gonna save it. And we're gonna load from save because I think the editor is glitching. And hopefully this will fix the issue. Didn't fix the issue. We need to rebuild this section. Editor's not this section's not doing anything like that. It's just this guy that's the problem. I don't know. I think we might dispense with the parachutes. We also don't need a. We actually don't need a human command module, so we can just put this directly on board. Oh, I forgot to take off. That's the payload fairing thing. Or was it? No, that was the decoupler. We don't need a. No, that was fairing. We don't need a decoupler. Because we have this docking port thing. Okay. So how are we gonna do this? I'm gonna put the rover like that. And then somehow we have to connect something up here, which could mean we put another coupler on the front of the rover. I don't really want to do that though, if we can help it. What about a truss? This is very connected in a very strange way that doesn't make sense to me. I'm trying to move, just messing around here. I want to see what works. Okay, that makes sense to me. Can I mount stuff inside this truss? I should be able to, right? So this is what I'm going to try to do. I don't know if this is going to work or not. The thing is, it's probably going to be a little off-center, and that could be a big problem when it's all the way at the top of the rocket like that. It actually looks like it's pretty centered. So maybe it's not that big a deal? I don't know. Let's detach... Oh, we also we don't need to do any in-flight refueling, so we can ditch these docking modules. Or do we? No, we're going to keep that, because I'm going to leave this part in orbit. We're going to see about that in a minute. Okay, that is the root part. That's why that's highlighting the whole thing there. Okay, so the general idea with this is that if I put an aerodynamic part on top, maybe it won't explode on liftoff. We can put a coupler at the top there. We don't have any medium aerodynamic parts. We might be able to fix that. Let's see our research tree. I have 796 science, is not bad. So precision aerodynamics, kind of the opposite of what we're looking for. Medium truss adapters. Precision propulsion is not what we want. Xenon propulsion is pretty interesting, but not relevant for us now. We don't have enough for it anyway. So... large aerodynamics is not until tech level 3. Okay, so that's not happening. I want to mess... I'm going to get this because it's cheap and I want to mess around with the grid fins. I want to see what that does for us. I was also thinking about making a plane instead of a rover. We might try that at some point. I think we're gonna do the rover first. I don't know. Although, you know what? No, let's do a space plane. I think that's gonna be awesome. What does high altitude aviation do? Aerial drones is also pretty cool. So this is for making little tiny jets. It's not really relevant in this case. Okay, we're gonna try to make a jet plane. I'm just wondering whether I need this high altitude aviation. The radial air intake's probably... Yeah, I think the radial air intake's gonna be really useful. We don't have enough anyway. Adjustable ramp radial air intake. Oh, we don't need air intakes anyway because we're building a space plane. It's going to run on hydrogen, I think. So I don't think there's going to be enough air on Mars to fuel a jet, probably. Or on Duna, excuse me. Pardon my incorrect nomenclature. Let's see, 1 second. Just realized my phone was not plugged in, it's running out of batteries. Sorry about that. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, I have to take a break to help unload groceries from the car in about 20 minutes. In the meantime, though, let's we're gonna start from scratch here because we're making a plane. Let's see. So what's the latest cockpit that we have here? That one's actually quite heavy. Interesting. I was going to use that one because it's the coolest looking, but it's also ginormous. Also, research reports. Is there any particular like aerodynamic advantage to that one versus the other one? Oh, it's a two-seater. Okay. So this is actually the latest one. Let's put. So what I'm going to do? I'm going to build a plane that just flies around, and we're going to test it out. And then once we've tested it out, then we're going to basically turn it sideways and mount it on top of a rocket. That's my plan here. Okay, so Duna Jet Mark 1. Duna Jet. Jet's a misnomer because it's not really using jet propulsion, but that's okay. And we need to have all of our science and stuff, right? Hopefully I'll be able to land this thing once we build it. Maybe I want a longer cargo bay. Do I need a longer cargo bay? Probably 2 small cargo bays would suffice. Yeah, that's way heavier. I don't know that we need that. Okay, so one of these is going to contain the probe core. This is going to be unmanned to begin with. We also need an SAS module. Let's put that at the nose. Very good. Okay, and now the probe core. Very good. And then batteries, we need... we might end up getting a cargo bay, we'll see. I like these round batteries because the form factor just fits nicely in a payload bay. Oops. Okay, so we got all that. Do we want to put any other things in here, like backup antennas? We should probably do that. Comms. But these could be our main antennas, actually. We don't necessarily need to have... We can actually get them to be mounted on the inside here. The idea is we can open the payload bay doors and extend these antennas if we need to transmit. But we probably won't want to do that in the air, but we probably could manage that if we had to. Maybe we'll do that in the air. We'll see. There isn't like an inline antenna, is there? I mean, I could try to put the antenna behind an aerodynamic part, but not really. Okay, so that's that, and then we need science. Now for the science, I'm thinking we may want to do the full-size ones instead of the little ones, because this fits nicely into our jet form factor here. I think I'm going to put this right behind the cockpit just so it's easier to find it when I go to click on it. We also need to have this, which doesn't fit on this cockpit, so we'll have to use the slightly larger... Oops. Have to use the slightly larger cockpit, which is this one, I guess. Oh, that's interesting. I guess we needed an aerodynamic. Wait a minute, is that a door? I guess that's just... It looks like they can disembark from here, so I don't know what this door is for. Maybe it's just meant to show that they can, like, walk forward into another section of the ship once it's connected or something like that. Maybe it's meant to, like, be able to transfer crew, something. That's just my guess, anyway. So we need... I guess it would be structural... Something like that, probably. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. It's funny looking, but that's our nose assembly. And since that instrument's on the front, I guess this is the root part now. Let's make the cockpit the root part. That's better. Okay, so we're gonna move Mr. Science Jr. to the front here. So that way we rotate our camera around to look at the front of the craft. We can hit all of our science things at once. We could potentially put the SAS module up there too, ahead of the cockpit. I think I'm gonna want to do that. Let's do that now. This stuff we're not going to normally need to click on, so I'll leave it back here. I'm liking how this is looking so far. Aerodynamic parts. So we could put an engine back here. We could also... I was thinking it'd be cool to have multiple engines. So we could do something like that, maybe. That's a medium. Something like this, maybe. And have like a dual jet engine, or dual hydrogen engine, I guess. Something like that. It's not the most fuel efficient way, but I think it'll be cool if we can get it to work. And then we need hydrogen engines. There we go. Is that neat looking? I'm happy with it already. Okay. And then we need wings at some point. I was watching some videos of other folks playing this on YouTube. Apparently the dimensions of your wings don't really impact the performance much. So that's a bit weird. I think these are going to be medium wings because this craft is going to be pretty heavy. And we're going to want to make these big, probably. Let's turn on the center of mass and the center of pressure. Oops. So we want the center of pressure to be slightly behind, very slightly behind the center of mass, I believe. Center mass is going to change a little bit as we add stuff. Center pressures. Oh, it moved. Okay. The math that it's doing is just wrong a little bit. And this thing's meant to fly on Mars, so I feel like it ought to have big wings. Duna. Okay. So let's give it big wingspan. A little more swept because it's going to be at the top of a rocket and it's going to have to go fast. And then let's go for increasing the root length a little bit and increasing the tip length a bit as well. What's tip angle? Is that like the angle of attack? Oh, okay. Not sure what impact, if any, the tip angle has on the performance. Okay. I mean, in real life, even if it doesn't have an impact on this, I don't know. I want this to be longer. Yeah, okay. Okay, so it did actually adjust the center of lift substantially, but only after we finished editing the parameters, so we don't get to see what it is, what it's going to be like while we're making the adjustment, which is unfortunate. Made it crooked again. I think there was also something about elevating the wings a little bit. We should probably try the wings in different configurations and see what the relative performance is like. Okay, I think we gotta adjust our wing parameters a little bit here. Maybe we'll sweep it a little bit less. Up too far. Okay, hopefully that's good. We're gonna have to keep making adjustments as we add stuff. Let's go ahead and... we don't need jet engines, right? All the trappings of a normal jet we don't need here because we were running on hydrogen. So we just need that stuff, and then we're theoretically good to go. We probably want to have solar panels. Well, we're going to want to have the big flat ones. This thing's going to use a lot of juice. Well, maybe it won't actually. It's using hydrogen. It's generating fuel as it flies. So we might not need to worry too much. I'm going to line this up some kind of same way, top and bottom, so that it's a little more symmetrical. So we've got those lined up there, and then these will line up with the rings here. Close enough. Alright. And then we'll put another 2 on the bottom. Good. I think that should provide plenty of solar power. Probably don't want to have any fold-out ones because they're just going to get swept off in the atmosphere as we fly. And then ground. We want to have some medium landing gear. Let's put them on the wings if we can. And we're going to turn off steering for these. So the steering is going to be managed by the front wheel, which is going to be this guy. And then we're going to adjust this a little bit. Put that up here so it doesn't interfere with any of that equipment. And then that's pretty good. Now I'm gonna push these up a little bit too, I think. Well, that might be okay. Okay, so right now we have no, like, stabilizing control surfaces. We've got to fix that. But aside from that, I feel like this could be okay. Let's add some control surfaces. And some medium stabilizers. I'm gonna figure out exactly where to put them here. Small stabilizers. Did I put a... Oh, we want that to be at a control surface. Clicked on the wrong thing again. Alright, we're gonna try this thing and see how it handles in Kerbin's environment. Oh, we need lights on this thing, I think. Okay, it's kind of slow. I don't know how much lift we're actually going to need to get this thing off the ground. It might be quite a bit. We're burning through fuel very quickly. That concerns me. Might have to make this whole assembly bigger and add more engines. Looks like we're maybe starting to get some air. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try one more time in case it was a launch fluke. Wait till it starts to get just a little bit squirrely, and then we're gonna tilt it upwards just a little bit. I wonder if we need stabilizers on the sides here. I think we might. I think we're gonna add more fuel tanks in the back and then shift the center of lift a little bit and that kind of stuff. Thank you. Yeah, it's not gonna work. It's not fast enough. Give me 1 second. Okay. So let's... put the wings away for a second here. So adding more engines, first of all. Let's do quad small engines, maybe? Symmetry is not working with the quad engines. That could be a problem. I'm gonna throw this out because it's still got the other wing attached to it. We're gonna rebuild that. Invalid symmetry attach. Oh, what's going on with this here? There we go. That was weird. Since these things are burning through fuel so quickly, we're gonna add more fuel. Like so. Maybe not quite that much, let's do a little bit less than that. Oh, I'm gonna use a medium tank there. These are both medium tanks, so we gotta use the small. Okay. Well, let's see if we can put only two wings on this thing. Looks like we can. Let's see the center of mass. I think we're going to want the wings to be higher in the vehicle than that. Yeah, it's going to be a problem. I think it will be anyway. There's some, like, smaller planes have wings that are above the center of mass, so we'll err on the side of having it above rather than below. And let's increase the wing angle. Oops. Too much. Not enough. That's about right. Okay. And now we still got the landing gear, so theoretically, maybe that'll fly. We need stabilizers still. Okay, and let's fix the settings for these properly. Conversion. Advanced controls, so these should only be involved in pitch. He should only be involved in roll. And he should only be involved in yaw. I think that might help with our stability a little bit, we'll see. Okay, let's try this. Oh, that's not ideal. Why did the wing fall off? Where's the flight report? Structural failure on linkage between metamorph and fuel tank. Okay, so we just need some struts maybe. This other one turned red, like it wasn't getting connected properly. There it goes. Uh-huh. Take that, structural linkage. Let's see you try to... We're doing some bouncing there. I think our wheels might not be centered over the center of mass. We gotta try to take off and see what happens. Are we faster? Maybe? I don't know if we have enough ground clearance to actually take off. Slowly adjusting. I'm adjusting the trim just a tiny bit upward using precision controls, which is caps lock, by the way. This may have been a bad idea. Okay, oh, okay, we're in the air. Yaws pretty well. To the gear. I didn't think it would burn all of its fuel this fast. Maybe we try with 3 engines instead of 4. We try to add more fuel tanks like under the wings. I think that'd be a good idea. let's see if we can come in for a landing. Let's look at some practice in. That was me. I cut that engine out because I was adjusting the trim, or canceling the trim rather. On Mars, we're not going to have a runway, so we might as well try to land on the grass here and see how it goes. Try with the small wings and see if it still takes off. I think it's not going to be enough lift. I'm just trying to think how to like save weight. Landing gear's coming out. See if we can land. I think this thing's going to explode on impact. We're getting 108 meters per second. I don't know how much of that is horizontal. I mean, we're pretty close to the horizon in terms of our leveling. Oh. Well, we almost landed. Maybe we need air brakes. Problems air brakes are not going to work really well on Mars. Okay, let's see if we can find ways to make this less sketchy in terms of its flight performance. Oops. Did not mean for that to happen. You have the structural strut bit still on there. Can't tell. Seems fine. Is it in this orientation? The default. Weird. Okay. Yeah, we got that. We're gonna have to take these off. Or redo the control surface settings once we get this shaped the way we want. I'm gonna remove all this for now, because it's just gonna cause us problems. But we don't need a triple wing. We're not building an Imperial shuttlecraft here. Okay, so I'm putting the wings high up. I'm gonna have to find a way to extend the landing gear or something. Maybe let's put in wing tanks. Oh, we need coupling first, right? So I want to be able to get rid of these tanks when they're empty. There's an aerodynamic decoupler. We could put that on the underside of the wing, actually, probably. Is that like inside the wing? What the heck's going on with that? I think I have this part oriented the right way. We're gonna put it on the body because I can't tell which way it's supposed to operate. Too bad they don't have smaller tanks. You can put on the outside. Okay, we'll try that for starters. And let's see the center lift. Oh, that's way off. Are the wings really most of the weight of this thing? Seems the center mass is shifting a lot when I move the wings. This can't be right. Why does the center of pressure keep changing by that big margin? I think that's good. Let's see. I'm wondering if I need a medium segment here in order to... to mount the landing gear. We could try including some jet engines as well and see how they perform. Get a message from Mark, go see what this is. Okay, I gotta take a 1 or 2 minute break here. I'm just gonna leave it at this screen. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Now we're thinking about how to install our landing gear. I just have steering disabled already because I messed with the settings before, right? Okay, and then... I think this will be okay. Let's try. I didn't put in the fuel lines. Or the staging's also wrong. What we may want to actually do is have extra engines be on these fuel tanks. Have like a asparagus staging arrangement. We'll see about that later. Let's try to just get this working first. Good. And then the staging is reversed as expected. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's try it. Come on, you can do it. We should put some aerodynamic nose cones on these fuel tanks, probably. Steer it just a little bit to keep it on the center line here while it's gaining speed. We have no pitch control. Might as well test the brakes. Good time as any. Okay. Okay, we got that. We're missing the stabilizers. Control surfaces. Yeah, they already set their roll only. I wonder if we should set these for pitch as well. Yeah, let's set them for pitch as well. Feels like we're floating a little bit, but not. We're going pretty slowly. I wonder what our stall speed is. Right now in a second, I guess. I think if we go to take off from Mars, we're going to have a hard time finding this much runway. Alright, I gotta take a break for a minute and help my girlfriend bring the groceries in. So the second this thing gets in the air or crashes, one or the other, we're going to pause it. Just noticed we weren't gaining any speed because I was bleeding it all off on trim. So we'll try this. No, it doesn't want to fly. Okay. Alright, taking a 5-10 minute break or so. Be right back. Sorry guys for the hold up. I gotta wrap up the stream for now because of work stuff. So I gotta help somebody with something. So I'll try to stream a little bit later if I can. But for now, thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to follow if you're watching on Twitch, or subscribe. It's free if you're watching on YouTube. Isn't good to see you? Yeah, sorry we didn't get too much done today, but hopefully we'll get to do more later. Rocket Glider for the win. I hope it eventually wins. Doesn't seem very efficient, but we'll keep trying. Alright, anyway, have a good one. Take care.